Okay, so this is the second part of the chapter one of economics. So we have discussed on the first part the scope of economics, the essence of economics, the scope of economics, and now we will be discussing the method of economics. For economics, there are two ways to make analysis, two kinds of analysis. So one is the positive analysis and one is the normative analysis. Positive economic analysis simply describes what exists and how things work. So it has a more objective orientation that distinguishes it from normative economic analysis, which looks at the outcome of economic behavior through judgment. So, as an example of a positive analysis, okay, positive analysis is actually just stating what is stating or describing what exists and how things work. One example statement is taxes provide government services to the people. So you are only stating the fact that ang buwis uh, provide naghatag sa government nga og way para makahatag og services sa tao. So that's a positive analysis. That's just stating. While the normative analysis looks at the outcome of economic behavior through judgments and prescriptions for courses of actions. So, kini na siya, dili na siya objective man ang positive. Normative is na siya pagka-subjective. Because imo nang gitanaw ang outcome, you're already making judgment and you will be making prescriptions or solutions. No, unsay pwedeng buhaton. One good example is this statement: the government should impose more taxes to provide more services to the people. Okay, so you already have a prescription or course of action nga pwedeng buhaton. So dapat ang government daw mag-impose og mas additional taxes or more taxes to provide more services. So these two approaches are the vital tools for studying economics because economics apply them to come up with systematized conclusions that will be used to design economic policies and theories. Because in economics we have theories and we do theories, we have models to follow. So let's discuss the theories and models in economics. The theories are propositions about certain related variables that scientifically explain a certain phenomenon. One of the example of this is the population theory of Thomas Malthus, scrutinizing the food and population. According to Malthus, the population daw grow faster than the food supply, right? And he recommended to control population or to lessen it. So this is actually the what Malthus did is the normative analysis, no, na siya'y judgment ug na siya'y prescription. Although Malthus theory was true sa iyang time, um, he failed to observe other countries like the United States. Ang the food production is faster than the population expansion, or other countries in the Europe. So adto nga time kadto man kung gi-formulate ni Malthus, ito ning panahon after World War nga daghan ay mas paspas ni daghan ang population kaysa production of food. Models, on the other hand, are used to illustrate or demonstrate and represent a theory or parts of a theory. No, so mo na ingon ni Baumol 2009. Models simplify an explanation or description of a certain economic phenomenon, often employing graphs, diagrams, or mathematical formula. So Pag theory mo ng mga propositions about a certain variable, pag model, gamit na ta og something to illustrate the theory or part of the theory lang. So magamit na ta inig mga graphs, magamit na ta inig mga anything nga that will represent the theory. And in making theories and models, or in making theories particularly, there are fallacies that we commit, meaning mga errors, no, mga false nga claims. So we will discuss the fallacies in making models and theories. There are four of them, and there are several misleading, kanang mga misleading notion, maguning fallacies that certain economists, kanang mga ekonomista, believe when designing economic models and theories. So naa sila kuan mga fallacy or a wrong notion. Some of them are enumerated as follows. So one, we have the post hoc fallacy. It relates to events as if the first event causes the second one to happen. So it is commonly constructed in this form. Kining a form. A occurred immediately before B. Therefore, A caused B. So ang A daw nahitabo immediately before sa B nahitabo. Mo nang ang A ang cause sa B. Supposedly, like for example, in a particular economy, nga naka-experience og oil price hike uh, as a result of an increase of fuel prices in the world market. So, ang pinaka-example ani niya itong mga economy nga naka-experience og oil price hike. Subsequently, inflation occurred. So, katong mga economists na naka-experience og oil price hike, naka-experience sila og inflation. Unsa man ang inflation? Sobrang pagtaas sa presyo. So, naka-experience sila og inflation. So, therefore, ang ilang cost, ang cost sa inflation is the pagtaas sa presyo sa oil price. Unfortunately, sa tinuod, even without the increase in fuel, naagyo siya inflation. Inflation will occur because of other factors, dili lang ang pagtaas sa oil price. So, mo na gitawag siyang post hoc fallacy because this formula, A occurred immediately before B, therefore A caused B, is not always true. No, na ay mga dili ma-apply. So that's one of the fallacy. Second is second fallacy is failure to hold other things constant under the ceteris paribus assumption. Ceteris paribus means all things are constant. All other things are constant. So when you are this is when you are generalizing events as if they were all the same and all the results were predictable. You are actually committing this fallacy. Ang ceteris paribus actually came from a Latin phrase which means that all things being equal or held constant. This is one of the frequent assumptions in economics nga pirmi gina nato all things are constant. This is commonly applied in building economic models which rely on the principle that in order to explain a specific economic phenomenon, each of its variables should be studied one at a time. So dapat i-study nimo siya separately ang tanan variables. Dili sila connected kumbaga. Um, lahi-lahi sila. However, it is of course difficult to hold everything constant because in reality, an event cannot simply be free from the influence of other variables. 'Di ba? So dili man nato pwedeng kanang ingnon nga nag-freeze ang uban tapos kinira nga atong kinira is one part ikaw ra ang naglihok ang uban freeze or frozen dili siya ingana. So for example ani when the price of a particular brand let's say soft drinks goes down, we can assume that more consumers will buy the said commodity or will buy Coke pod kay ni barato ang Coke. But the question is, what if naay bag-ong soda, naay bag-ong soft drinks in the market nga cheaper and uh, pare-pareho rag taste sa Coke. So dili nato maingon that ang tanan mo palit nag Coke or mo increase na ang sales sa Coke. Dili because there's a new player. There's a new soda in the market nga competitive. So posibleng ang uban didto mo palit. So dili nato maingon nga constant ang uban. Ma-held constant. So that's the failure to hold other things constant under the ceteris paribus assumption. The third fallacy is the fallacy of composition. It states that what is true for a component is also true for the entire thing. Murabag, kung tinuod ni siya diring dapita, tinuod ni siya sa Kabadbaran, so dapat tinuod ni siya sa tibuok Pilipinas. Maraging ana siya. Pinaka-example ani is Mr. A wins the lottery and becomes a good businessman. Therefore, all lottery winners will become good businessmen. So, mana siya, murag si Mr. A daw nidaog siya sa loto and then nahimo siyang good nga businessman, successful businessman. So therefore, ang tanan mo daog sa loto mahimong good businessman. So that's the fallacy of composition. Ang ang true in one component is treated as true to the whole. Kung tinuod siya sa Kabadbaran, mahimo siyang tinuod sa tibuok Pilipinas, which is false or wrong notion. The fourth fallacy is the sweeping generalization fallacy. It is committed when a statement wraps up everything with no exceptions to the rule, as if making it a general statute. So, related po ni siya sa fallacy of composition. But this one, sweeping generalization, pinaka-example ini is the sentence that says, there is no treatment for COVID-19. And if a person gets this COVID-19, he or she will never be cured. Will never be cured. So, mura na kay sweeping generalization na siya nga. Since ang COVID-19 is, there is no treatment for COVID-19, meaning dili na jud kamo, ang isa nga nagasakit sa COVID-19, dili na gyud siya ma-cure, dili na siya maulian. That's sweeping. Because in reality, there are other things that will maybe able to cure someone with COVID-19. No? So, those are the four fallacies na in making models and theories. Or pag may fallacies, these are the wrong notions. Okay, so after that, we will be talking about the economic systems and the basic economic questions. Because in economy, we will be dealing with, ato ba yung discuss previously, ang macroeconomics and microeconomics. So we will be dealing with production, what to produce, how to produce, and when to produce. So there are uh, three economic systems or basic economic systems, and there are also basic economic questions. For the economic system, these are the economic system. These are the basic questions: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. So, ang what to produce, a society determines the kind and quantity of products it will produce. So, ilang i-determine. Unsa may atong i-produce? Rice ba or corn? How to produce, a society decides who will produce goods and what process of production will be used. So, pag nag-choose tag rice ang atong i-produce, unsa may process sa pag-produce nato ani and unsa may atong gamiton sa pag-produce. For whom to produce, the question revolves around the issue of who will benefit from the goods and services produced. So nganong kuan man tag rice, mag-produce man tag rice, okay? So let's say for example, what to produce? Sa may produce nato rice or cell phones. Unsaon nato mag-produce tag cellphone? Unsaon nato pag-produce ang cellphone? So magamit tag mga machines, equipment. For whom to produce? Ato ni siya i-produce sa mga estudyante kay nag new normal classes sila. So these are the three basic questions: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Now these questions will be answered differently in depending on the economic system that the community or the society is in. So if market economic system ang market economic system meaning independent ang market. So what to produce? The answer for from the market economic system is that the goods that yield high profit. So unsa may ato i-produce? Kadtong mga goods nga dapat makaginansya ta that yield high profit. Unsaon nato pag-produce or how to produce, we should produce it at constant returns to sale at minimum cost. So dapat i-produce nato ni siya with little puhunan, with big return or big ganansya ba. So mo na siya pag market economic system, that's how we are going to produce things. For whom to produce? Para kang kinsa man to those who can afford it. So kini nga itong i-produce para lang ni sa mga maka-afford. Pag command economic system, meaning controlled ang economic system, dili siya free, dili siya independent. What to produce? More public goods dapat ang i-produce like roads, hospitals, and schools. So mo na siya, mo i-produce. How to produce? All possible laborers. So kinsay pwedeng mo trabaho and available machineries and equipment. So unsay available ana. Kay ang command economic system manggod usually kani bitaw ang government ang nagkontrol sa economy, no? Mura siya kana bang sa ba na sa socialism or communism nga na siya. For whom to produce? We will be producing for the public. Ana siya. So we have market and we have command economic system, but there are countries that are using mixed economic system, meaning naay command na apoy market economic system. So naay freedom gamay, na apoy control gamay. So these questions are answered by both the government and private entities. So pag mayon ta government, o unsa may i-produce, mag-produce tag mga public goods. Pag economic system or private entities, ang iyang i-produce are products that can give him more profit. How to produce? Dapat minimum cost siya with high return. Sa command economy or sa kanang controlled part sa government, possible laborers and available machinery. So kung unsay naa mo na itong gamiton. For whom to produce? Of course, for the government, producing for the public, for the private entities, they will be producing for the people who can afford the product. So those are the three economic systems and the basic economic questions. Now let's discuss the opportunity cost and trade-off. Pag mingon tag opportunity cost and trade-off, one of the uh, pervasive effects of scarcity or kanang kakulangan is the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost refers to the cost of giving up an alternative by selecting the next best choice. So murag ka nang may akong pilion ani unsa may cost sa akong gipili. So, when resources are scarce or limited, consumers are compelled to choose how to manage them efficiently and decide how much of their wants or needs will be satisfied and how much of them will be left unsatisfied. So you have life is full of decision, especially if we have scarce resources or limited resources. We have to decide unsay atong i-satisfy ug unsay atong dili kaayo i-satisfy. Therefore, when a particular need is pursued, all the other alternatives are forgone. And the more we have of this good, the more we sacrifice those other things. So, pinaka-example ani niya is soda or soft drink, which costs 25 pesos. The opportunity cost of buying the soft drink corresponds to all other items that cannot be bought with the same amount. So since ang 25 pesos nimo gibalit nimo og soft drinks, so ang opportunity cost ana niya is the cost of the um, other things that cannot be bought because nipalit na ka og soft drinks. When a consumer pursues to purchase two soda drinks, so kung duha imong paliton, mahimo na siyang 50 pesos, he will be giving up 50 pesos worth of other things. Diba? So, naa kay imbis kay ang 50 pesos nimo mapalit og bugas, but you decided to buy soft drinks, so your opportunity cost is 50 and you have given up the 50 pesos worth of rice. So mo na siya opportunity cost. This is what the economists call a trade-off. No, pag ni-give up na kag other needs to satisfy the other needs. So in our example, the good points a consumer got from losing the 50 pesos are the position and consumption of the soda drink or soft drink, his thirst being quenched, and his wants being satisfied. Kay want man niya ang soft drinks. So that's the trade-off. Na ang opportunity cost nimo is the cost of the product that you bought by giving up the other alternative, and your trade-off is because nasatisfy ang akong need. Mo na imong trade-off. Next, we will also discuss the PPF and opportunity cost. PPF is the production possibility frontier. The concept of trade-off is illustrated in economics by the production possibility frontier or PPF. PPF is actually a graph which shows the greatest sum of output given the accessible factors of production in an economy. So makita nimo sa graph ug unsa asa ka pwedeng o unsa nga product ang pwede nimo i-produce with the highest amount, no? So sa makita nato sa atong graph, we have the orange soda kining 10 to 40 nga pa vertical. The horizontal is the cola or Coca-Cola. Right? So, at point A, you are producing you are producing orange, 40 pieces of orange, but you are producing zero cola. So, makita nimo, sa point A, pila ka orange ang imong gi-produce? 40. Sa cola, zero. At point B, nag-produce ka og 30 ka orange, however 20 ra ang imong cola. Sa point C, you are producing 25 and you have 25 nga soda, 25 pod nga cola. Sa point D, sorry, 20 nga point C. Wait. Point C, you have 20 nga orange soda and 25 nga cola. Sa point D, you have 10 nga um, orange soda and then 35 nga cola. Sa point E, you have zero na ang imong soda and then you have 40 cola. Right? So, makita nimo diri from this figure, we can observe that kanang mo na to atong gi-discuss nga at point A na ay 40. So um this is your production possibility frontier. Kung pinakadaghan nimong ma-produce nga soda is 40 pero wala kay i-produce nga cola. So gi-give up nimo ang cola and you produce soda at 40. At point E, you are giving up orange soda and you are producing cola. Pinakadaghan is 40. So mo na imong production possibility frontier or PPF and your opportunity cost. Opportunity cost nimo is the amount of cola that you give up. So you decided to produce 40 soda, you have given up 40 cola. No, vice versa, you have decided to produce 40 cola and there your cost opportunity is 40 of soda, and then your trade-off is that of course na satisfying imong need for soda on and diri pod is na satisfying imong need for cola, right? Now let's go to opportunity cost and comparative advantage. Opportunity cost and can also be used and analyzed on a wider scale, such as in the international trade. In international trade, the comparative advantage is a principle which states that if a nation decides to specialize in the production of a certain good in which it has the largest advantage over other nations. So, diri sa ta sa first table, no? Na country A o si country B, agricultural products and technological products. So, for example, um, si Country A, kaya niyang mag-produce og 100 products sa agricultural products. Sa technological, 50 ra iyang kayang i-produce. That's a total of 150. Si Country B, 50 ra iyang kayang i-produce nga agricultural products niya, technological 100, and then 150 ang total. So they have the same total but they have different specialization. No? However, para mas makita nimo ang opportunity cost at ang imong advantage because it will take more effort to produce this kay di man ka kaayo maayo sa technological product, maayo man ka sa agricultural product. So it is suggested nga mag-focus ka sa agricultural product. So makita nato sa second table kini with trade na ni makipag-trade ka with other countries. So instead of mag-focus ka kay it will take 50, the same effort will take 50 raman, but if you will focus that in agricultural product, mahimo na siya ang 50, mahimong 100 agricultural product. So makaproduce na kag 200 instead of 150 ra pero lain-lain nga product. Si Country B, because maayo man siya sa technological product, mag-focus na lang siya dito, ma-double iyang production. And mahimo na siyang 200 instead of 150. So ang mahitabo makipag-trade na lang sila. So si country A since maayo siya sa agricultural product mo na iyang i-specialize, mag-produce siya daghan, and then makipag-trade siya kang country B. Okay, providean ta ka og rice, provide po ko og technological product. Na. Muna siya, na siya trade because we have to specialize. Dili man ta pwedeng jack of all trades, 'di ba? Kanang daghan kaayo tag i-produce or gusto nato himuon tanan pero masayang ang atong effort kay dili man siya maayo ang pagka-produce kay di man ta specialized. So it's better to focus on one specialization so we will be effective and then just trade off with other country nga nag-specialize sa things nga imong gusto. Okay? We will be discussing this more on additional chapters. So these are the key points that you have to remember as a summary, because this is the second part. Key points to remember: economics is a study of the management and allocation of scarce resources to satisfy unlimited human wants and needs. There is a scarcity in resources when they are either improperly allocated or limited relative to man's needs and wants. Resources are also called factors of production. Di ba na remember niyo sa part 1? They are classified into land. So land is anything that is not man-made. So that's water, air, vegetation. Labor, that will be our skills. Capital, that will be the machinery, equipment that we use. Entrepreneurship, that's the skills to combine land, labor, capital to produce products or goods and services. There are four factors involved in with unlimited human wants: the increase in population, the changes in taste and preferences, increase in income, and speculations of consumers. The needs are things that we cannot live without, while wants are things that are unnecessary and we can live without. Economics has two main divisions: microeconomics, which deals with the economics of the firms, and macroeconomics, which studies the aggregates of the economy. So, pag maingon tag microeconomics, these are the little things. So, we will be discussing like the number of um, production in a firm in one company, um, While macroeconomics, iyang gikuha na ang world economy, the aggregates of the economy or the totality. Positive economic analysis describes what exists and how it works. The normative economic analysis looks at the outcome of an economic behavior. It involves judgments and prescriptions of courses of action. A theory is a proposition about related variables that scientifically explain a certain phenomenon. There are four commonly committed fallacies or wrong notion in making models and theories. The post hoc fallacy, failure to hold other things constant under ceteris paribus assumption, the fallacy of composition, and the sweeping generalization fallacy. There are three basic questions in economics: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. The economic systems are generally categorized into three types: market economy, command economy, and mixed economic systems. Opportunity cost is the value of giving up an alternative by selecting the next best choice. Production possibility frontier or PPF shows this is a graph that shows the greatest sum of outputs given the accessible inputs of an economy. Comparative advantage is where one participant in trade has a relative advantage over the production of one product, and the other participant has the relative advantage over the other. And that ends our presentation. So I hope these concepts are clear to you. But if you have questions, you can post it in our classroom or in our group. Thank you.